Namaskaram. Shri Mahaganapatiye Namah. Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Welcome to today's humble samarpanam on Mayilpeeli. Today we shall chant, learn and understand the slokas of Narayaneeyam Dasakam 82. Let us first chant the sloka and then understand the meaning. Dasakam 82 is about the war with Banasura and the salvation of King Nruga. Aniruddha was the grandson of Krishna through his son Pradyumna, whom he begot through Rukmini. Usha, the daughter of Banasura, falls in love with him. Usha manages to abduct Aniruddha when Banasura, who had, due to his great devotion to Lord Shiva, had Shiva himself as a security guard, and he imprisoned Aniruddha. In a grim battle with Banasura, Lord Shiva and Lord Skanda, the son of Lord Shiva, Krishna cuts off all but two hands of Banasura and brings back Aniruddha and Usha to Dwaraka. Dasakam 82, Sloka 1. Pradyumno Raukmaneyaha Sakalutava Kala Shambarena Hrutastvam Hatvaratya Sahapto Nijapuramaharad Rukmikanyam Chadanyam Tatputrota Niruddho Gunanidhiravahad Rojanam Rukmi Pautrim Tatrodvahe Gatastvam Nyavadimusalina Rukmayapi Jhuta Vairad. O Lord, Rukmini and your son Pradyumna returned to Dwaraka with Rati after killing the demon Sambara, who had kidnapped him as soon as he was born. Pradyumna was Kamadeva, reborn after being burnt to ashes by Lord Shiva in anger. After kidnapping him on birth, Sambara threw him into the sea, where he was swallowed by a fish, which was caught by a fisherman and brought to Sambara's house. When cut open by Sambara's cook for making a dish for Sambara, Pradyumna came out of the belly of the fish and was secretly brought up by Rati, who was then staying in Sambara's household and had recognized him as Kamadeva, who was reborn. Pradyumna also carried away Rukmi's daughter Rukmavati by her good fortune, who later bore him a son, Aniruddha, who was extremely virtuous. O Lord, you then attended the wedding of Aniruddha with Rochana, the granddaughter of Rukmi, soon after which Rukmi was killed by Balarama in a quarrel arising from a game of dice, says Bhattadri. Dasakam 82, Sloka 2. Banasya Sabalisutasya Sahasrabaho Maheshwarasya Mahita Duhita Kilosha Tvatpautramena Maniruddhamadrushta Swapne Nubhuya Bhagavan Virahaturabhut. The demon Bhana, who had 1,000 arms, who was the son of Bali, was a staunch devotee of Shiva and had a daughter, Usha, who was esteemed by all. O Lord, that Usha, having enjoyed in a dream the company of your grandson Aniruddha, who she had never seen, fell in love with him and suffered the pangs of separation, said Bhattadri. Dasakam 82, Sloka 3. Yogin yativa kushala kaluchitra lekha Tasya sake vilikati tarunana sheshan Tatra niruddha mushaya viditam nishayam Aneshta yoga balato bhavato niketat. Usha recognized Aniruddha as her dream companion from the pictures drawn by her friend Chitralekha, the daughter of Kumbhanda, who possessed yogic powers besides being a good artist. At Usha's behest, Aniruddha was spirited away from your house at night by Chitralekha by the use of her yogic powers and was brought to Usha's apartments, says Bhattadri. Dasakam 82, Sloka 4. Kanya pure dayitaya sukhamaramantam Chainam katanchana babandhushi sharvabandau Shri Naradokta tadudanta duranta roshaihi Tvam tasya shonita puram yadubhir yaruddhaha. Aniruddha, who was having a joyous time with Usha in the latter's quarters, was spotted by Bana, who promptly managed with some difficulty to seize and imprison him. Incensed on learning of Aniruddha's imprisonment through Narada, you laid siege to Bana's city, Sonitapura, with the Yadava army, says Bhattadri to the dear Lord. Dasakam 82, Sloka 5. Puripala Shaila Priya Duhitrunaatosya Bhagavan Samam Bhuta Vrataihi Yadubalam Nirurudhe Mahaprano Bhano Jatiti Yuyudhanena Yuyudhe Guha Pradyumnena Tvamapi Purahantra Jagatishe. Lord Shiva, who was the guardian deity of Banasura's city, confronted you, O Lord, with his Bhuta hordes or the Bhuta Ganas. The mighty Bhana fought with Satyaki, Skanda, Shiva's son Subramanya, along with Pradyumna, while you engaged Shiva, the destroyer of the three Puras, says Bhattadri. Banasura, who was the staunch devotee of Lord Shiva, had him as the guardian deity of his city, and when Krishna laid siege, Shiva firstly confronted Krishna and his Yadava army. While Krishna kept Shiva engaged in fight, the mighty Banasura fought with Subramanya and Pradyumna, is what we understand in this shloka. Dasakam 82, Sloka 6. Niruddha sheshastre mumuhushitavastre nagirishe dhruta bhuta bhitaha pramata kulavira pramatitaha paraskandatskandaha kusumasharabhana ishtasachivaha sakumbhando bhandam navamiva balena shubhibide. Here we understand that in the war with Banasura and Shiva, all Shiva's weapons were resisted, neutralized, and he was rendered unconscious by Krishna's weapon Mohanastra. All the army of the Bhutaganas fled in fear, and the leaders of the Pramatas were crushed. Skanda was defeated by the flower arrows of Pradyumna's bow. The minister of Bana, Kumbhanda, was soon smashed by Balaram like a new pot. Dasakam 82, Sloka 7. Chapanam panchashatyam prasabamupagate chinna chapeta bhane vyarte yate sameto jwarapatirashanaihi ajwari tvajwarena jnani sutva tadhatva tava charita jusham vijwaram sajwarugat prayon tagdarjnanavanto apicha bahutamasa raudra cheshta hi raudraha. O Lord, Bana, who then mounted a massive attack on you with 500 bows, soon fell back with all his bows shattered. The Shaiva fever, which is the lord of fevers, was overwhelmed by you, who is the great Vaishnava fever, whereupon that Shaiva fever, in a chastened mood, extolled your greatness, and after conferring immunity from it on all your devotees, retreated. Rudra's followers, although innately wise, are generally seen to be violent owing to the dominance of tamas, says Bhattadri. Here we understand that Bana came attacking ferociously with 500 bows and arrows, but with his weapons being severed, he had to retreat. Thereupon, the head of all the obsessions, the Shaiva obsession, came to the forefront, but was immediately put out by the Vaishnava obsession. The enlightened Shaivas gave freedom to all those who sung Krishna's excellences and went away praising Krishna. Often the enlightened Rudras also act ferociously because of the predominance of tamas, is what we can come to know here. Dasakam 82, Sloka 8. Banam nanayudogram punarabhipatitam darpadoshadvitanvan nirlonasheshadosham sapadi bubudusha shankarenopagitaha tadvachashishtabahu dvitayamubhayato nirbhayam tatpriyam tam muktva tadattamano nijapuramagama saniruddha sahoshaha. O Lord, Bana again attacked you ferociously, full of arrogance with so many of his various weapons. You made him devoid of all wise and cut off all his arms. He had all of 1,000 arms. Shankara soon realized your greatness and praised you. He realized that in essence both Shiva and you were the same. On his request you let off Bana with his 2 arms on both sides. Bana, who was then spared from the fear of death, honored you. Then you returned to your city Dwarika with Aniruddha and Usha, said Bhattadri. Dasakam 82, Sloka 9. Muhustavaccakram varunamajayo nandahare harane yamam bhalanitau tavadahanapane nilasakam vidim vatsasteyem girishamiha banasya samare vibho vishwotkarshi tadayamavataro jayati te. Your repeated victories over Indra, over Varuna when Nandagopa was kidnapped by him while bathing, over Yama at the time of reclaiming from him the son of your preceptor Sandipani, over Agni when you devoured the wild forest fire, over Brahma when he stole the gopas and calves, and here over Shiva in the battle with Bana. O Lord, amply prove that this incarnation of yours as Krishna surpasses all other incarnations and is the most superior of incarnations, says Bhattadri. This incarnation of the Brahman as Krishna is the most superior of all the incarnations, and the Leelas are so amazing and overwhelming. Dasakam 82, Sloka 10. Dvijarusha krukalasavapudaram Druganrupam tridivalayamapayan Nijajane dvijabhakti manuttamam Upadishan pavaneshwara pahimam. O Lord, King Nruga, who was reduced to the body of a giant lizard by a holy Brahmin's curse, was purified and sent to heaven by you. By this you instructed your devotees to have some supreme respect for holy Brahmins. Bhattadri then praised, O Lord of Gurubhyo, do save me. Here King Nruga was the son of Ikshvaku, and he had the great honor for holy men or Brahmins and gave a lot of charities to them. But in one occasion he had promised to give a certain cow to a Brahmin in need. However, by oversight and negligence, he had promised the same cow to another Brahmin. Both these Brahmins come to his doorstep for the cow, and that is when he realizes its folly and requests them to leave that cow and instead take 100 cows each. But the first Brahmin who was promised the cow takes away the cow, and the second Brahmin curses King Nruga. That's how he becomes a giant lizard. The message from the story is that one cannot escape the consequences of his or her actions. Whether done knowingly or unknowingly, he or she will have to bear the fruit of his or her deeds. Neither a single day more nor a single day less he or she will thrive in hell or heaven, once the account of consequences of good and bad deeds is settled by undergoing them. Hare Krishna. Sarvatra Govinda Nama Sankirtanam Govinda Govinda Narayana Akila Guru Bhagavan Namaste Shri Haraye Namah Shri Maha Periyava Sharanam.